Okay, what's up YouTube? We're going to go over the modules. My previous video briefly hit a description of each one. So let's start with Module 1, which is bonus actions. Okay, so Module 1, bonus actions, offers 4 additional bonus actions during the console stage. For those of you who have played the game, the base game is also used in Edge of Extinction. The Vice Chancellor would pick 2 potential bonus actions, hand them over to the Chancellor, and he or she would decide if there was going to be a bonus action that round. Basically, after you got through all your main actions and reactions, then the bonus action would occur. So the first one, that's an additional one with this expansion, Event Horizon, is adding population, and this occurs immediately actually. So there's no bonus action that round. Everyone gets 2 additional population right at that moment on their home planet, and the bonus action card is discarded more or less. Then you continue on with your normal actions and reactions during that action phase. The next one is called nanobots. I guess I should mention that that first one is called accelerated cloning. That's the name of the actual action. The second one is called nanobots. So basically this is a damage repair that occurs during the bonus phase. This one doesn't happen immediately. As you notice, this one doesn't have any indication that it happens immediately. And you remove 1 damage from each one of your ships that are in play during the bonus phase. The next bonus is called supplies. So this one goes along with upgrades that have been researched. So as long as you have researched the upgrade that of any of the upgrades, basically. So let me bring this in quickly. I wonder if this is going to fit. Sort of. All right. So as you know, here's the upgrades, right? The weapon systems, the engines, right? Shields, and the rockets as well are considered upgrades. So as long as you've researched any of these upgrades, and that would also include any from Edge of Extinction, you basically get that upgrade without paying for it. As long as you've researched that particular upgrade. And the final one, now this one is a little interesting because I haven't seen a bonus like this before. But basically, you can play an extra action card this turn, and this can only happen once per game. So if the Chancellor ever chooses this, it can only happen once per game. It happens during the bonus. They consider this a executive action, that's what it's called. So you can play an extra action card this turn, but no reactions can be performed this turn when this card is played. Okay, so I should also mention that when this is played, it more or less happens immediately, in that you play 3 actions that turn. As I mentioned, there's no reactions according to the rules. And I should also note that if you've researched Master Politics, you're going to get a total of 4 actions. So this, you'll get your, I guess you could say your third. Actually, I guess you'd say you'd get this one as a bonus action, so everyone gets 3, and then because you have Master Politics, you're going to get your 4th action as well. And that's another technology that you can research. Okay, so Module 2 is the Centaurian Resistance, challenge level of 3 of 5, and it's going to add, according to the rules, 5 minutes per player. So the concept of facing the Centaurian resistant fleets is not new per se, but they've changed it a bit in terms of scaling. you, instead of having level 1, 2, and 3 fleets, which would be a single card in each case that you draw, they've now added what they term regular fleets, which are the green ones. You see that? And then also what they term strong. You can see a little S on that one, and it looks like an R on the regular, if you notice. So basically what occurs now is when you take on a regular fleet in the combat phase, the conquest phase I should say, but when you actually decide to engage in combat, it's going to scale based on the round that you're in the actual game. So the regular fleet, based on the turn, you will face multiple levels potentially, sometimes multiple level 3s. And then basically with the strong fleet, that based on your turn, the round that you're in, it's going to move it up 1. So I'm going to show you the card to give you a sense of how that actually works in terms of scaling during the game. Okay, so this is the strength chart reference for the fleets as you encounter them, and so I'm using the Edge of Extinction side of the card. It also has for the base game. I can show you that as well. But basically, based on the game turn that you're in, is going to determine what resistance level you're going to face, and as a result, what card you're going to have to encounter. Right, so in this case, in game turn 1 of Edge of Extinction, and you're facing a regular fleet, you're going to take on 1 level 2. However, if you decided within game turn 1 to take on a strong fleet, it's going to bump this up immediately 1 level from here, and you're going to take on a level 3. So that's basically how that works. This will continue on as the game goes. You can see it can get pretty rough. So once you're down in round 7, and if you take on a regular fleet, you're going to take on a level 2 and 2 level 3 cards. And then if in that same round in 7, that's a strong fleet, you're going to go to 3 level 3s immediately. And so, just to give you a sense, this is the strength chart for just the base game, right? So game turn 1 and 2, resistance level is 1. So this is a bit more manageable. So just to give you a sense of how the strength chart works with the aspects of the regular versus strong fleets. And just to clarify one additional aspect to this, when you engage in combat with, for example, let's say this level 1 and level 3, if you destroy just this level 1, you don't claim that card unless you defeat all of the resistance cards that you're actually facing within that encounter. So you don't just take part of it. You need to defeat all of them to claim the reward. Okay, so when you actually defeat the ships that you need to encounter based on the round that you're in, it moves to the defeated side. Each of these tokens have a defeated side, and then you can more or less reap the benefits of however many cards you had to encounter for that. Within the upkeep phase stage, however, if you have sort of moved on from this particular location with your ships and you don't have a presence there anymore, these will actually respawn and repair themselves within the upkeep phase. So that's something to be aware of. They will keep reappearing. So if you need to get back, you need to have cloaking researched if you don't want to have to deal with encountering those. fleets again, or you're more or less going to have to take them on if you end up there. So just something to be aware of.